Again, though, before this floor gives way underneath me as well. I give the carpet a concerned look.
All right,
Hayley agrees.
let's get out of here. I want to go look out the back anyway, to see how much land this thing comes with.
And with that, the Daley siblings make their careful way back downstairs, one of them worrying at the splinter caught in his thumb, the other watching for spiders and dead human bodies. Sadly, to get to the back garden, we have to go through the fly-infested kitchen. At least, I assume most of them are flies. If there are any mosquitoes in the cloud of small black bodies flying around the green fridge, we'll both be scratching ourselves into insensibility for the next couple of days. The back door is a lot harder to open than the front.
Are you going to kick this one too?
Hayley asks, as I push against the solid door with my shoulder. I peer through one of the opaque windows in the door and spy a large, heavy object against it on the outside. I don't think so, not this time. There's something stopping the door from opening. Something heavy. I pause for a second. And no, Hayley, it isn't a corpse. What it is a tire. Not one from a small family hatchback either. This thing came off a tractor. It takes a lot of pushing and shoving on my part, with a little help from my feeble, weak sister, before the tire is shifted enough to allow us to get out of the door. By the time we squeeze through the gap, I've got a real sweat on, thanks to my efforts, and the unseasonably mild spring weather. Christ, I say, wiping my brow with one hand. I hope that was worth it.
Well, it was the only way to get out here,
Hayley comments and looks off to one side, making a face.
Oh, apart from the fact we could have just come out of the front door and walked round.
What? And get ripped to pieces by the brambles? No thanks. I've already nearly broken both my ankle and my back today. Adding severe lacerations to the litany of injuries this place has caused me in the last half an hour is something I'm happy to avoid.
Fair enough. Let's see how the garden looks.
It's not really a garden, though. What we're talking about here is a bloody huge field covered in a thick, tall layer of plant life that will need way more than a strimmer from B&Q to get rid of. Great. I wonder if there are any triffids out here, I say, knowing full well the reference will probably be lost on my sister.
What's the triffid?
See what I mean? Never mind, I tell her. Not something we have to worry about. I look out over the vast sea of green. Probably.
This hasn't been cut in a while,
Hayley remarks. In a while? More like never. And that's no exaggeration. The grass is easily 1.5 feet high at its shortest length, even now in April. This grass obviously hasn't been cut in years. The only places where it isn't that long is where some kind of creature has forced its way through, trampling the grass flat. I'm resolutely not going to think about what that creature might be at the moment, in case it is just about to leap out of the grass and take my throat out. There are more of the massive overgrown bramble bushes dotted around the large patch of land laid out in front of us. At least 4 gnarled apple trees are in evidence towards what I can only assume is the back of the land this house comes with. And I swear I can see a Christmas tree growing way off in one corner, proving that Mother Nature doesn't give a monkeys about human customs. Exactly how big is the land? I ask Hayley as I peer down the left side of the field at the remains of a barbed wire fence that marches its way for several hundred feet down towards a large wall of trees right at the end. Over the fence is pasture land. Standing here, in this quiet, vegetative expanse, it's hard to believe that we're only a minute's drive from the village centre down the rough, potholed road that runs right up to the broken garden gate. Hayley pulls a piece of paper out of her pocket and reads.
Apparently, it's 1.1 acres.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. I'm hazarding a guess here. I actually have no idea how big an acre is, nor does anyone who grew up within walking distance of a metropolitan town centre. I know it's supposed to be quite a large unit of measurement, but quite how large, I have no clue. What I do know is that the overgrown land in front of me is bastard big, and in dire need of someone with a bulldozer and some imagination.
Not really much of an improvement on the inside, is it?
Hayley says, a little deflated. Oh, I don't know. At least out here we can get a nice suntan.